So, A Course in Miracles I've been doing for 38 years. And let me just tell you this really quickly. Hello, Jeremiah. Good to see you. Um, so, um, this is A Course in Miracles. This is my Course in Miracles, just so you see it. A Course in Miracles. Before I tell you my story, I'll tell you this. A Course in Miracles is not a religion. It's not a religion. It is a spiritual mind training with spiritual truths that help you to have one goal, and it has one goal only, and that goal is true inner peace. Because when you attain true inner peace, everything changes in your life. I guarantee you. The reason why that we all run around this world looking and looking and trying to find our peace and trying to find all that stuff is because we have not discovered that there is another way to live our life. A lot of people, listen, let me say this. You do not have to study A Course in Miracles to have this. Many people naturally have this because these are spiritual truths. It's not a dogma. It's not saying you're going to go to hell if this happens. It's not any of that. That's not what this is. These are principles for life. And it's principles about how your mind works because everything is how your mind works, right? Everything's about how your mind works. You're either you're seeing something in this way, or you're seeing it this way, or you're seeing it this way with your mind and what your mind is doing. And what the Course in Miracles is going to teach you is that it's going to teach you that you have a lot of stuff in front of the truth. So, for example, let's take the Golden Girls, right? Golden Girls mug, my new Golden Girls mug. Everyone here watching this broadcast right now has a different interpretation of this mug. They have a different interpretation of the Golden Girls. They have a different interpretation about what goes in the mug. They have a different interpretation about, oh, I would never have a mug that big. It's too big for me. I prefer smaller. Do you understand? And all of that is what the mind is doing. So the mind is creating a reality for you all the time. So like I always say, what's happening in this plane of existence is that there's all these realities smashing up against each other saying, my reality is great, my reality is the reality, and then the other person's like, no, my reality is the only reality. Do you understand? This is what the Course in Miracles begins to start to help us, because if you if you don't address this, if you don't look at how your mind is working, and this does come to God and spirit and all that stuff. I don't like to use the word God. I don't like to use the word God. But it is paramount if you are interested in having peace and having flow, right, in your life, is you've got to look at all of the barriers that you have to seeing the truth. Okay? So, does it make sense? And if you have questions or comments, please put them in the comments, and I'll get to them. Okay. And I'm definitely seeing uh, YouTube. So if you're on Facebook, say hi too. I think there were some comments on Facebook, but I didn't see them here. So, all right. So, like I said, I've been doing, or if you've been studying A Course in Miracles, then please put into the chat too. There's a latency issue right now with the chat, just so you know, but we're gonna deal with that. I have to keep looking to see what's going on over there. All right, so I'm gonna make this brief because I want to get more into the work of what the Course in Miracles is and how I think you could study it. When I was very young, I was incredibly connected spiritually. I don't know why. I don't know why. I knew that this wasn't all there is, that this body wasn't all there is, that this father wasn't all there is, this home wasn't all there is. There was something else. And I knew that burning, I knew that, right? I remember at a very young age, I looked out at the moon from my crib, literally, and I thought, I'm from there. Some of you have heard this story before, but I'm going to say it again. And it didn't mean that I thought I was an alien or a Martian. It literally was a feeling that I didn't belong here, but I was here. Do you understand? Give me a 1 or thumbs up or yes if you've had that feeling that I don't belong here. There's something else. What's happening here is not real. And I always knew that. And that pulled me through my life. I studied, I read, I meditated a lot, a lot, a lot. I attest to all Max is saying, still studying, it's changed your life. That's right, Elaine. That's right. And I have to write this down before I forget. Sorry. Okay. So Brenda and Girl Rush fan are that's right. This is my second year of doing the lessons every day. Or my third. It's life changing. That's right. It's life changing. So, I did a lot of different things. I studied a lot. I meditated a lot. I had ulcers when I was really young. And my doctor, this is in the 70s in California, my doctor didn't want to do anything surgically because I was so young. He said, you have to start meditating. So he gave me a book and I started meditating and it changed my life. That changed my life. And so I started to stay in the meditation. I started to do meditation and that opened up consciousnesses and worlds and everything. Studied, Wiccan philosophy, Judaism, read parts of the Quran, a lot of the Quran, and a lot of different things. But when I was about 17, I was invited by a friend to this woman's house. And he's like, you should come. I think that you'd really like this. We sit around and we read a book and we talk about spirituality and our role in the world and everything. And I went, and this was in Los Angeles in the 80s, well, early 80s. And I started, hi, Catherine. So I started going to this woman's house. It was an apartment in West Hollywood. So I started going to this woman's house, and there was a lot of gay guys, and sit around, read the book, talk about it, and everything. And it was, of course, I never heard of A Course in Miracles. I didn't know what it was, and I would go back every week, and pretty soon something really hit me. Something hit me that I was like, I think this is my path. I think this is my thing. So then I started really groups. And just this isn't a name dropping thing, but it is that that woman's house was Marianne Williamson, who a lot of you might know. She just ran for president. So it was Marianne Williamson. And from then on, I started to dedicate myself to applying these principles in my life. And then everything really, it didn't change. It made sense. Everything started to make sense for me when I started to do the work, right? So, hello, Jessica. Hello, Jessica. Good to see you. And it has been an incredible journey for me. So much so that, probably about 18 years ago, I started really teaching people a course. Because one thing I want to say is A Course in Miracles, obviously it's huge, huge, huge. Sorry about the pixelation. Don't know what to do about that. This is not a self-help book. Many people come to me and they go, well, I can't even get through it. Well, let me look at all of mine. I can't even get through it, right? Jessica and the room, I have the book for 20 years. Max is, oh, I love it. I love it. Very good. Thank you so much, Catherine. This is a study. It's not a self-help book. This is something that you slowly absorb. You slowly absorb it. A lot of people, like I was saying, they'll be okay. Okay. Tell me if I'm okay. Hi, Betty. Hold on. Hold on. I'm going to wait a second. I'm going to wait a second. Because I changed the mic. I changed the mic to the mic on the computer. So Mic and the computer. Live sucks here. I was trying to use that headset, and I think that headset is screwed up. Okay, it's better? Much better? Okay. All right. Okay, I don't know what you missed and what you didn't, but I'm just gonna keep going. You can hear clearly now. Very good. Okay, good. Good. Okay, so what I was saying is this is not a self-help book. This is not something that you pick up at Barnes and Noble. Remember Barnes and Noble? There's still Barnes and Nobles. That you just read and then you go on to the next thing. This is not what this is. This is not what this is. This is a study. This is something that you absorb, that you read, that you contemplate, that you allow yourself, because it is meticulous. I'm telling you, it's meticulous in what it does to you and how it starts to shift you. And when you start to do this work, you will have a different experience of the world. You'll have a different experience of yourself. You'll have a different experience of everything, right? And that's the work. That's when I say it's the work. You do it little. You do it little. You do it little. That's why I said when people come to me and they're like, I got that book, I got 3 pages in and I couldn't do it. I was like, I know. Now, let me tell you this. As far as really, this is my opinion. And you can go look at my YouTube video. I have a YouTube video about how to study A Course in Miracles. In my opinion, because this is how I was taught, is that it's best if the principles begin to resonate with you and you want to study more and you want to embody these principles and you want to let go of the egoic mind, we won't go into that right now, then for my money, the only way to really do it is to what? Is to be in a group. Be in a group with somebody that knows. Be in a group with, oh my goodness. Hold on. What's going on over there? Hold on. What is going on? Why are you going crazy? And we're back. That was a cat commercial break. Cat commercial, get it? Cat commercial. Something's happening over there, and I have no idea what's going on. But it doesn't matter. That was a cat commercial. Get it? Cat commercial. Cat commercial. So, in my opinion, to do A Course in Miracles, to study it, to absorb it, to allow it to really change your life, to change you, you must, this is what I'm going to say, do it with somebody that knows what they're doing. Because if you don't, you're going to be so lost. You're going to be like, what? I'm going to take back that must. I'll take back that must. I would say I greatly recommend that you study it with a group and because part of this work is the whole way that you commune with your brothers and sisters, the whole way that you and your brothers and sisters on this path are doing it together. Because as A Course in Miracles would say, we all are saved or none of us are saved, basically. And so now this comes to another part of the Course that I want to say, is that the Course in Miracles uses traditional Christic philosophy and terminology, right? Terminology. So there's going to be God, there's going to be the Holy Spirit, there's going to be Jesus, all of that stuff. But in a completely different way than you've ever heard it before. In a completely different way. And so there are Jews that do this, there are Christians, there are people that don't follow any religion. You do have to have a vibrational field that you're connected to something more than just this, right? You might call that God. You don't have to call it God, right? Good to be in a group when you have your mind blown. That's exactly right. Your mind gets blown by this work a lot, a lot. Now, let me say this, is that A Course in Miracles, when I talk about it's using Christic terminology, this is not a dualistic religion. It's not, I mean, a dualistic philosophy. Traditional religions are dualistic. There is God, there is the devil. There is good, there is bad. All of that stuff, all the dualism. This is a non-duality path, and it states that only love is real. Only love is real. Now, sometimes I don't like that, I have to say, because you and I are going to come to this. That's why I don't like to use the God word sometimes, because you're going to come to this with your concept of what God is, your concept of what love is, your concept of all of that stuff, right? And it's better to discover that on your own. And that takes the breaking down so you can discover what love is. You can discover whatever you call God, source, life. I like to call it life, is, right? So you want to make sure that this is one of the main reasons it's not a religion, is that it is not dualistic. It is non-dualistic. Meaning that what it's going to start to do, it's going to start to change the way you think. And you have to be ready for this, but everyone's ready. Everyone's ready. Because everybody is looking for peace. Because what it's going to reveal to you is peace. And when you find that peace that's already there, no matter what's going on in the world, no matter what's going on within your life in this world, that peace is still there. And the Course will help you to rediscover that peace, to make it conscious, because it's never gone away. It just brings it up to your consciousness. And when it brings it up to your consciousness, it's like clearing out a stuck drain. You get the crap out and then the water flows, right? Because the water is just sitting here going, I'm waiting to come through, I'm waiting to come through, but you got all this crap in your drain. And it starts to go and it flows. It's already there. It's already there. So it brings that truth, that flow back into your consciousness. Does that make sense? Let's see. Okay. So any comments or questions about what I've just talked about, what you've heard, and then I'm going to talk about how it's broken down, how the book is broken down. And I will tell you this, on this channel here, we're going to definitely be doing Course in Miracles work. Okay. Let's see. So put into the chat if you have any comments or questions about. Thank you so much. Brenda says, I love that. Girl Rush, are you in a group right now? And the other part of this, let me say this while you're all typing, is that groups are very different. They're all very different. I've been to quite a few different groups. They all approach it very differently. So you want to find a group that feels right to you. I have a very specific way that I run my groups. I have 3 groups running right now. And I have a very specific way of teaching it, which is not what a lot of people do. It's not better or worse. It's just, this is what I found is the best. No, you're here with us. Okay. Okay, you're not. You're here with me. That's right. Okay. All right. So let me tell you about the book itself. The book itself is huge, right? It's huge. So there is 3 main sections of the book. The first is the text, which is big, the text of it. And then the second part are the daily lessons. The daily lessons there are 365 lessons. The daily lessons are the crux on some level of A Course in Miracles, because the lessons methodically, remember I keep saying that, methodically help you to start to change your perception. And which, speaking of, one of the definitions of a miracle is a shift in your perception, because when your mind changes, then everything changes, right? When your mind changes, everything changes. So the lessons slowly but surely help to break down a lot of your preconceived ideas and things that you've had and that you've held on to for many years, and then it helps to rebuild it back up with the truth. And I can't explain it to you completely because what happens is something that's very different for everyone. But I will guarantee you, if you commit to doing the 365 lessons, you have no choice but to change. You have to change. Most people say they're going to do it, and then just like New Year's resolution, I just did a video on, they quit. And it's usually at about the 2 to 3 month mark, they quit. And that's a shame, because that's about the point when it starts to really sink in. That's the point when it really starts to go, oh boy, something is changing. And what changes is your resistance goes down, your mind starts to open, you become spontaneously more happy, you start to judge less, you have a lot less anger, you don't fall into depressions as easily. Anxiety definitely goes away. There's no doubt about it. Anxiety just definitely goes away, for sure. So all of those things happen by doing the daily lessons. That's for sure. That's for sure. Hello, Shelly from Seattle. Yay, Shelly, another one of my students. We love you. I love you, Shelly. So I was going to say. So that's how, so that's the second part, is the 365 lessons. The third part is called the manual for teachers. The manual for teachers. Now, the manual for teachers is a really great, wonderful part of the course that a lot of people don't talk about, and it has very specific questions, and it answers them. So it's kind of the question and answer section on some level. There's a clarification of terms, then there's a psychology supplement. And just to show you how old mine is that in all the new ones, all the new books, the psychology supplement is in the book. But mine is so old that it used to be separate. Can't even see it. This is the psychology supplement, and this used to be separate. And now they've included it. They've just included it in the book. So so psychotherapy, purpose, process, and practice. Now remember, this is a psychological mind training. So it definitely. Oh, hi. Do you want to say hello? Okay. Hi. Come here. Say hi. Say hi to everybody. Oh, you. This is Velma. She's squirrely. Squirrely. Say hi. Say hi. I know. Okay. That's Velma. Roxy's doing something. So remember, this is a psychological mindset. It's beyond mindset. So why do I do this? You know why I do it? Because the alternative to not continuing to practice the principles of A Course in Miracles, if I don't come back to it, if I don't, it's not, listen, first of all, you don't have to keep doing this all the time. The alternative to implementing the principles, really, the book is mind-blowing, right? But it's the principles you come back to, the principles that you learn that you come back to, because this world, the world as we see it, is insane. I'm sure most of you will agree with that, especially right now. But it gives you such incredible peace. It gives you such incredible foundation in who you are. And, I don't read the course every day. I've gone through the lessons six times. I think it's 6 or 7. I lost count. But the reason I come back to it over and over, not just this reason, is that I really, my heart sings. I have tons of joy when I see people getting it and their life changes. People that have been just depressed or struggling or angry or addictions or their life starts to just change. And I'm telling you, you could read one line, and if it hits you at the exact right time and the right moment, and you're ready to hear it like you've never heard it before, your whole life will change. Your whole life will change. And it's so that's why. I mean, that's why I keep coming back to it. And it is about, there is this it's kind of like you're contracted to, this doesn't sound very good. It sounds bad, but I'm going to say it. It's almost like you are contracted to continue to share. And since I'm a teacher, thank you, Shelley. Since I'm a teacher, I have to continue to share, right? You don't have to, if you're not a teacher, you don't have to. You just embody these principles in your life, and you become so open and so loving and so peaceful that your presence changes people's lives. Does that make sense? You don't have to say anything. You just, when you do this work, your presence changes. But you're not going through it to try to change anything. You're going through it because what? It makes you feel good. It makes you feel peaceful. It makes you feel free. And when you feel peaceful and you feel good and you feel free at the deepest level, then everybody else in your life and in the world benefits from that. Do you understand? So that's why I continue to do it. And that's true. My students are like my family, and I love them so much. And seeing how things change in their life, and how it starts to click, and how it's just beautiful, beautiful. So that's A Course in Miracles. I'll randomly open something and read it in a second, but I'm going to take a time. We're going to wrap up in a second. I didn't want to keep you very long. If you have any comments or questions about the course, and I would say I was correcting Brenda about it's not the Course in Miracles, it's A Course in Miracles, and that's actually really important because, and then I'm going to say something about the title, because there are many paths. This is just one path. You've heard it a million times. It's very specific. It's like A Course in Miracles. It's not the Course in Miracles, and everyone needs to do this. That is completely not what it is. Completely not what it is, right? And I always make a joke, and I think this is really important. This is a course in miracles. It's not a course in how do I figure it out. Most of the time, the egoic mind is trying to figure it out. This work starts with the shifting of the mind, but it goes deep into something much bigger. Okay? All right. I have a class in 15 minutes. I have my course class in 15 minutes. So I'm going to have to wrap up. So you're welcome, Brenda. Anyone want to say anything before we go? While you're doing that, please, if you're not on YouTube already, subscribe to my YouTube, because every Wednesday and Friday I do new videos. This one's about New Year's resolutions. We're doing another one on Friday, and that is New Year's Day. And I think I have a couple. No, I don't want to say. So definitely follow me on YouTube. And if you're not on HAPS already, let me just tell you, HAPS is streaming onto Facebook. And I'm sorry if people are on Facebook and I don't see your comments. I'm really sorry. I don't know about that. If you're going to come on live, maybe YouTube is better, because I see all the YouTube comments. Been a pleasure hearing about your thoughts. Thank you so much, Brenda. Thank you so much. Okay. All right, everybody. I really do love you. Thank you for coming. And if you have any, if you want to know anything else, oh, I will say this really quickly before I go, is that I've never done this before. I'm going to make an announcement right now, and it's going to in the next few days. Um, I am. You're welcome, Roberta. Um, I am. I've never made an announcement like this before, but I have an immersion program that some people know about. Um, uh, Christine just graduated from my immersion program. And if you're serious about really changing your life to have real peace, real joy that is sustainable and truthful and so much, but I'm opening it up and we're having a start date of January 25th. So if you're interested in working with me at a very, very immersive level and applying the Course in Miracles a lot in your life, it's my pleasure to help you. I'm interviewing people right now for that group. I already have one. I don't take more than 5 people at a time. So we have one person that's starting, and so if you want to know more about that, please send an email to info@attractpositiveresults.com. It's not on my website. I have to have a chat with you to see where you are and if you're ready for it, because not everyone's ready. So that's all I'm saying. And we get to do a lot of good things and fun. And I kick your ass with love. It's really fun. All right. Thank you for being here, everybody. I love you so much. I'll be back here on Friday on New Year's Day. So have an incredible rest of your day. I love you. Remember, today could be the best day of your life, as I always say. And I pray that love will guide you. I will talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.